Don't you hate it when that happens? You play a bad note and it doesn't work. That's what we're going to be talking about today at reallylearnguitar.com. For Jeff's tip of the day, it's making bad notes work. When a bad note strikes, and they often do, what you want to do is to acknowledge them. Make it clear that you really don't care that it happened. The greatest players in the world make mistakes constantly, and the difference between them and us is that they make it work for them by being aware. Number one most important thing that I think a lot of people overlook is being aware of what they're playing. You can't just let your fingers guide you the whole time. You have to be thinking with your mind and knowing what it is that you're playing, so that when you do play a bad note, you can acknowledge it by, the old rule is, play it again. So let's take a look at some bad notes and some notes that are out of the scale. So I'm going to be using just a basic pentatonic scale. Okay, and let's say that I'm playing along and I land on that note. For some reason my finger freaks out, takes control, and lands on that note. But if my mind is aware, I'll know that I played that bad note and I'll play it again. Now the trick to a bad note and playing it again is going from the bad note into a good note. So what are the good notes? Well, they're in the scale that you chose to play over the song. So if I'm playing over that same thing, and this time I'm going to play the bad note on purpose, but go to a good note. So now I've played that bad note 100 times, and now you think that I meant it. You can do this with bad notes all over the place. Now, here's an interesting concept for you, actually. What if instead of thinking that you're going to play a bad note, you chose to play bad notes on purpose, but instead of that, you wind up back in the scale. So I'm going to play a bunch of bad notes with a bunch of good notes, and you tell me what you think. Okay, so what I did there is I played a lot of notes that weren't in the scale. And I find that people often believe that the bad notes are bad notes because they're not in the scale and they didn't intend to hit them. So it's only a bad note by perception, not by sound. So once again, if you're aware that you played a note that wasn't in the scale or is a bad note, then you can play it again, and you'll find more often than not that that bad note becomes good, and you'll start to develop certain new things to your style. Okay? So don't be afraid. Play all the bad notes in the world and make them good, make them count, and believe in yourself, and practice a lot, and I will see you next time.